What's up, YouTube? It's your boy, Young Philip, and I'm back with another video for y'all today. And before we get started with today's video, I would like for y'all to click the like button down below, give it a thumbs up, and make sure y'all click that subscribe button, but make sure y'all click the bell so y'all can be notified and don't miss any of my videos. Today's movie review will be the biopic for Tupac, All Eyez on Me. And I will have to point out that there are major mistakes in this movie I will also talk about in this review. So, without further ado, let's begin. The movie takes place in 1995, where Pac is serving out his 18-month prison sentence on charges that he didn't even fully commit, which is pretty fucked up if you ask me. And then we go back to 1971. His mother was found not guilty on charges when she was part of Black Panther. Of course, she was an activist. And this happened like what, a month and 3 days before, or a month and 1 day before her son was even born. 1975, she married a man named Mutulu, and then he ended up being on FBI list in 1982 for robbing an armored truck. And then his family had to move from New York to Baltimore, Maryland. He went to a little theater school, and then he met the Entanglement Queen. Y'all should know who the Entanglement Queen is. But anyway, then they ended up having to move again from Baltimore to Marine City. And also, he never read a letter to the Entanglement Queen, nor informed her that informed her that he was ended up moving to goddamn California. Because I read that myself, and she also said that he never really told her that, and she never knew that he wrote a poem for her until like years after his death. And then here we go. He moves to Marine City, meets with this lady named Layla Steinberg, and then he ends up meeting Atron Gregory, who was managing Digital Underground, and then he became his manager. Then they went on tour, and then he collaborated with them on a song called Same Song. They did a okay recreation of the music video, Same Song. And they do the studio session for Brenda's Got a Baby. It's like they don't show us like how he got created when it came to the song. He ended up going off on the engineer because he wanted his vocals double or something like that. It's like they don't show him rapping. They just like play the song, and that was about it. And then they showed the archive music video. They don't even show. They don't do like no making of the music video. It's just like, yeah, y'all fucking up. Y'all are completely fucking all the way up. And then, if you thought that was something else, they did the same fuck up for I Get Around. Like, I'm pretty sure we seen Pac get lit in the I Get Around music video. But he also dealt with police brutality. Like, and they also did a terrible fuck up on the rendition of the movie for Juice. Like, the lockers was not on the left, the lockers was on the right. And okay, this is Q, this is Bishop. When he closed that locker, this is Bishop right here. It's like, yeah, y'all fucking up majorly. John Singleton would never ever do no shit like this. Had he directed the movie, he would have done it way better. But anyway, he ends up getting into it with some people at an outdoor fest after performing outdoors at some festival in Marine City. And then here we go. He ended up getting the thug life tatted and whatnot. And then after that, we got him being reunited with his mother after she got out of rehab. And then after this, the vice president talks about Tupac's record. And then he meets Biggie. They become real good friends. And then he's filming for Above the Rim, and he was like, they need to um, give him some money, whatnot. And then he wants money from the record label. He's like, y'all making this shit complicated. And he's like, but the return to, he's like, ain't nobody returning my shit. He's like, reconcile me a fucking check. You got that shit? And then here we go. He meets Haitian Jack, and he's also on set filming Above the Rim. He even gave him a Rolex. And then was like, what else? Well, my big try to warn Pac about Haitian Jack, but he ignores it. And he's in the studio working on a track for Above the Rim soundtrack. And then he ends up performing Keep Your Head Up at a college in Atlanta. And on his way back to like a hotel, something like that, he ended up getting into it with these two off duty officers who were white, no race. Um, they pulled a gun out on him, and then he went to his limo and pulled a gun out on them and shot one of them in the ass. But them charges on both parties had got dropped. And then here we go. That this is where things would get completely hard for Pac. He ends up meeting a girl. Her name is Brianna. She give him a little something on the dance floor. Like not only she dance for him, but she top him off on the dance floor. Then afterwards, they meet a few days later at the hotel. And then he's like, what the hell is she doing here? And she's like, I just got here. And then he was like, he received a phone call. He was like, all that money for that lawyer? He's like, man, I feel like a fucking ATM. And then and the dude tried to hand him some money. He's like, I got you. Anything you need. He's like, I'm good. And then she gave him a massage, and then he decided to roll out, and he went into another room, fell asleep, and then all of a sudden, she ended up getting took down by Nigel and the other dude. And then she just goes straight into Pac's room and talking about some, why you let them do this? And he's like, he woke up confused, like, what the hell going on? And then she's like, you made them do, you let them do it. It's exactly what you do. He said, what the fuck you talking about? Those are yo niggas. The fuck is she talking about? He said, how could you leave me in there with, I came here to see you. So this ain't the last time you hear from me. And then that's when she told them a little lie. And then all three of them were arrested later on. And then at the courthouse, Pop found out that he was gonna have to deal with the charges of his own. And then Nigel ended up was mysteriously given a trial of his own. And they looked into it, it's like he's mysteriously given trials of his own. It's like he got a whole lot of cases, but different trials. Same crime, different trials. And then he also called him a hangers on and shit. And he's like, y'all hear this bullshit? I got that little nigga his first Rolex. I know goddamn well Pac gonna be up in here asking me about bitches and money. He said, fuck that bozo ass nigga. I should have been fired his ass on. He said, y'all ain't gonna get shit. And nothing happened unless I say it happened. Alright, goddamn it. And don't you ever get in my motherfucking face like that, nigga. I'll bite your motherfucking nose off. Now count the money. And then as soon as they left, the boys decided to come up with a plan to try to teach Pac a lesson that he'll never forget. Atron's like, we paid many bills as we could. He's like, this damn rape case is killing us all. He's like, Pac was like, he ain't do nothing to nobody. He's like, I know you didn't do that. And he's like, the picture that you paint is your truth. The picture that you paint with your pen is like your truth. The picture that the media paint, that's theirs. He asked about higher learning, and his manager let him know that they want to go a different direction. They dropped him from the movie. He was like, that's bullshit. And then he ended up going to the Quad Studio where he would later get shot 5 times and robbed at the same time. He ended up going to Bellevue Hospital where he would sooner or later check out against like doctor orders. And he ended up having to go to his hearing for like trial. Let's see. On sodomy charges, he was found not guilty. But for illegal touching, he was found guilty. Which I believe is bullshit. They just wanted his ass locked up for real. And then the judge gonna give him 18 months for illegal touch. I was like, what the? I was like, yeah. Then he give out the powerful speech in court. Then he ends up having to go to jail for his sentencing. And then while he's in jail, he's listening to Who Shot You on the radio. I don't know how y'all managed to sneak a radio inside prison. I didn't know that could even happen. But anyway, it's like he's pissed. But I will say about the record Who Shot You, it wasn't even about Pac. Big wrote that song months before that shit went down with Pac. And then while he was riding in jail, his mother came to visit, and then sooner or later, Suge came and posted his $1.4 million bill. Oh yeah, his Me Against the World album debuted at #1 while he was incarcerated. Just a little FYI on that part. And then here we go. As soon as he's out of jail, he records All Eyez on Me, and he worked with Dr. Dre for California Love, had Daz produce some beats, even Johnny J produced for him as well. Those like the only two that did a whole lot of production work on the album. And then we have Pac witnessing Suge beating on niggas. You know, no matter if it's in the side of the studio or at a dinner table and whatnot. The dude that plays Snoop, I thought he sounded like him, but it turned out that he was, it was like the actual Snoop Dogg dubbing over the voice. Yeah, y'all doing real bad. Y'all going out bad, son. And then anyway, I also like to talk about is that the House of Blues performance, like how, the recreation of the House of Blues performance was a little off. Like, did y'all try at least do like a mic check so y'all we could hear Pac rapping? And then he didn't even perform a Hail Mary in real life. Hail Mary didn't even come out until like months after he passed. Like y'all couldn't play Troublesome 96. Y'all didn't think of playing goddamn All About You. None of the songs that was on the All Eyez on Me album. But they ended up playing Hit 'Em Up. And they also showed where we get a picture of him and Biggie's wife, Faith. And then here we go. Another thing that didn't happen in real life it was him and Jada getting into an argument. That never happened. She never had no type of confrontation with him about the actions he's been pulling off during that time. It was like y'all really fucking up. Y'all putting in shit that never happened in real life. But then here we go. One of Suge's homeboys got chain snatched at a Foot Locker. And then also we have Pac wanting to get off of death row, but Suge was like, "You owe me some more." And then here we go. Pac wanted to like come up with Death Row East, and then at the 1996 MTV Awards, he was like, "Death Row East is gonna bring a lot." And then at a radio station, or Hot 97 to be exact, Snoop went on air and was like, Puff and Big, they my homeboys. And Pac was pissed. Suge was pissed. And Suge made Snoop ride on the plane with Pac and Suge and made the his other homeboys ride on a different plane. And then Suge looked at, no, Snoop looked at Suge and was like, "Oh, it's like that." He grabbed the knife and a little fork, put a blanket, and then this is him like on the airplane ride back to probably L.A. And Pac went to Vegas to go watch the Mike Tyson fight. And then here we go. This is when he once again makes a fatal mistake. He go running up on somebody that he don't even know, and then he assaults a man. It was like, that's a setup right there. It's like he ran up, punched a dude that stole Suge Knight homeboy's chain. Like they could have told him like, chill, you sit back, we'll take care of this. And then Pop just boom punched him, and dude snatched his chain off, and then his bodyguard pulls him out of the fight. Now everybody else is just punching and kicking dude while he's down on the ground. They go back to the hotel, change clothes, and he tells his girl that he was gonna be back in like almost exactly an hour. Instead of having his bodyguard in the same ride with him, he made him take the Lexus and drive the Outlaws to Club 662 because they was gonna be celebrating the victory for Mike Tyson because he had won that night. And then Pac and Suge, they roaming down Las Vegas Strip and they playing the music loud. And Pac get one last picture taken, and then they come down Koval, and then by the time they hit Koval and Flamingo, they stop at a light, and his bodyguard pulls up right behind, and then two ladies pulled up on the left next to him. And they invited them to go to the club, and then all of a sudden on the right side, a white Cadillac pulled up. Like as soon as it inched up close to the BMW, a hand reached from the back door and just let off rounds into the BMW and just made a right. And the bodyguard, Pac's bodyguard, had hopped out and was like, "Y'all all right?" And Suge just made a U-turn. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they start playing gospel music. And then another mistake was like, he never made a right turn. As y'all could see from the images of when the BMW finally, like, when the tires had caught a flat, like the car came to an automatic stop between Las Vegas Boulevard and Harmon. And it was like he made a left turn, as you could see in the pictures. But the motorbike officers treated Pac and Suge as they were suspects. Like, no, like there's a man shot in the damn BMW. But then he died 6 days later, of course, on September 13th, 1996. His murder remains unsolved. He had over 713 songs recorded and some posthumous albums after, and he also has some documentaries about his life being made after he passed. I'll give this movie like a good 7 out of 10. Like, cause like there are some things that were true, other half were like exaggerated stories of things that didn't even happen. But anyway, I'm a diehard Tupac fan, and I know what happened even though I was born in 2000. Anyway, I'd like to say thank y'all for tuning in to today's video. Make sure y'all click the like button, give it a thumbs up, leave a comment about your favorite scene in the biopic movie of Tupac, All Eyez on Me. And don't forget to click that subscribe button, but make sure y'all click that bell so y'all can be notified and don't miss any of my videos. Don't forget to add me on my Instagram at youngphilip_00. Don't forget to add me on my Snapchat at Ryan361005. And don't forget to add me on TikTok at youngphilip00. And with that being said, I'm out.